Hello, everyone. Welcome and welcome back. If you're returning, welcome. No, if you're returning, welcome back. If this is your first time, welcome. I'm going to get that straight. It always sounds different in my mind than when I say it. Again, if you're returning, I thank you for sticking with me. Please continue to watch. Please share this video. Please continue to give it a thumbs up. If this is your first time, I thank you for watching. Please don't forget to thumbs up the video. And if you like, please subscribe. You all know how I do. Those who are returning, those who are new, let's get into it. I don't like to keep you waiting. So I realize for you new ones who's just viewing my channel for the first time, I make all kinds of dishes. And when I mean all kinds of dishes, but they have to be simple. That's the key to my dishes. They're nice and they're simple. They're delicious and easy to make. But I realize I don't think I've ever made an American Southern dish. I don't think I have. And this is perfect because the 4th of July is coming up. And this dish, you don't have to wait till the 4th of July. You can actually have it anytime during the year. And it's a very simple one. So let's get started. I am making potato salad. Now, let me tell you, everyone have a different recipe for potato salad. So if you see my recipe and you say, she's not making it the way I saw it, from someone else, that's fine. Think of it like meatloaf. 10 people can make meatloaf and each one will make it different. So now I have potatoes and all I did was just boil these. These are Idaho. Again, you use the potatoes that you like or the one that's on sale. And right now, these are my favorite because they're on sale. You ever hear people say dress the potatoes when they come out of the hot water? And this is simply what they mean. You just want to season the potatoes while they're warm because it tends to take on the seasonings are much better when it's warm. And I have onion powder. Again, nothing special. And as always, all the ingredients and measurements will be in the description box. And I have garlic powder. Real simple. Now, I don't know where you are. Please leave a comment. Let me know what prices are right now where you are. And again, I always try to make all of my dishes very, not just easy, but also affordable. And again, I'm just turning it. Just coating all of the potatoes. And when you have a 4th of July picnic, there's always potato salad. Well, you tell me, at your 4th of July picnic, do y'all always have potato salad? Maybe you don't. Maybe you have another type of salad. But potato salad is pretty much a tradition. I'm using chicken bouillon powder. That may seem strange, but I'm telling you, it's really great in potato salad. Now, as you saw, that one is not reduced sodium. I ran out of that one. And I'm only going to do a little bit of a sprinkle, not a whole pack because it's not a lot of potatoes. So since that one has more sodium, I'm not going to add any salt to this. Usually I would, but again, the chicken bouillon has sodium in it. So I'm not going to add any salt to it. Now I'm going to cover this back up and set this to the side. Do anyone have plans for the 4th of July? Most of the time on the 4th of July, we pretty much stay home. I don't know many people travel on the 4th of July. Maybe they travel for, to go to a friend's house, a backyard barbecue, or a picnic, because that's what we're going to do. Nice and affordable. Okay, celery. Now, I know this is very controversial. Some people do not put celery in their potato salad. But remember what I said in the beginning. You can have 5 people, 10 people make potato salad like meatloaf. And each person makes it different. And that's wonderful. We're strange. People tell us we're strange because we like celery in our potato salad. Some people put celery salt. I don't because of the salt. Some put celery seed. Now the trick to this is to try to cut it as small as you can. And again, if you're new to my channel, you know me. If you're new to my channel, let me tell you, you don't have to have great chopping skills. I hate that this camera is shaking. So I'm going to try to stabilize this camera. I don't know if that's going to help. But anyway, I used to watch other shows and they always had great chopping skills. know how to cut things. No, that's not working. So I'm going to pick it up. They always have great chopping skills, and I would be so intimidated. I was like, oh, I could never make that dish. I can't chop like that, or I can't cut like that. Look, that's not necessary. Just cut it up into really fine, not too fine, but small pieces. And I'll tell you why in a second. And again, if you don't like celery, you can leave it out. And I'm sure you probably saw different recipes for potato salad that didn't have celery in it, and that's fine. But I would say give it a try. Now, whenever you cut celery, you always have these little pieces. You want to take them out. That's not good to eat. That won't taste delicious inside of your food. So always take that out. And again, let me know, what are your plans for the holidays? I can't believe we're in July and January is just around the corner. Oh, so much has happened between then and now. It seems like time flies. And they always say time flies when you're having fun. But I realize time just flies, whether you're having fun or not. So you better decide to enjoy life and every day that you have. And so that's what I'm doing. Could I be upset about how things is going? I absolutely. And I think most of us can. Most of us have something that's going on in our life that we may wish was better or different or wasn't happening. But every day's above ground. It's a good day. So I'm just chopping this up. And let me know what are prices like where you are. And I've noticed something. And I don't think I'm the only one that noticed this. Whenever there's a holiday, yes, there's sales. But do you realize they go up on the price and then have a sale? So in other words, if ribs are like $6 a pound, it'll go up to $8 a pound. And then they'll put it on sale for $7 a pound. Yeah. Real tricky with that, right? Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side. And onion. I know. Again, this is a plain yellow onion. And you probably, again, you can put onion in. But just give it a try. If you try something once and you don't like it, well, then you know. But if you never try it, how would you really know? So it's just as simple as that. Just give it a try. And again, because I only have a little bit of potatoes, I'm not going to use a whole onion. Usually I would, but I'm not using a whole onion. In fact, I'm probably going to use half of this. Yeah. I'm going to set that aside, a little less than half. And I'm going to chop this up. So, all year long, when it was in the winter time, I was saying, oh, I can't wait until it's warm outside. I can't wait until it's warm outside. Yeah, well, now it's a scorcher. In the comments, let me know what the weather's like where you are. And please let me know where you are. So, when you give me the temperature. And again, I think this is a little bit easier. And I'm just chopping. And then no rhyme or reason. You chop this as fine as you want it. But since this is onion, I will try to chop it as fine as possible. And if you have a, what they call it? I'm going to say a chopper where you put food in and vegetables and it just chop up, just cut up. Go ahead and take it out and use it if you want. And that's another thing when I used to watch shows, for you new ones who, haven't been with this channel a very long time. I remember the first channel I watched, and they had I think a Cuisinart. It's a stand mixer. And at that time, Cuisinart was like, I don't know, $500 to $600, maybe even more. And I said there was no way I was going to spend that much money on anything, especially not that. And so I was like, oh, okay, I won't be making that cake. It was actually a dessert. And then I realized people have been making desserts for centuries, cakes for at least hundreds of years without a Cuisinart. So guess what I did? I made the cake without the $500 or $600 Cuisinart. So that is why if you look at my channel, most of the things is done by hand. But again, if you want to take out your equipment and just chop it up like that, that's fine. For me, I will double chop and just make it even more finer by hand. Okay, so we have the celery and we have the onion. Now, oh, my eyes is watering, so I'm just wiping my eyes. Okay, here we go. Now, depending on where you're from, again, even in the US, this is very, I don't know. Some people don't put eggs in a potato salad. Well, we're strange like that. Again, we love eggs. The more eggs, the better. And eggs, I don't know, it just seems to bring out the potato salad, and I'm just cutting it up. You want to use a potato masher, you can use a potato masher. You want to use a fork, you can use a fork. Yeah, I just love eggs. In this house, in this family, the more eggs you put in our potato salad, the more of the potato salad we will eat. If there's not any eggs, or we can't really taste the eggs, we may just taste the potato salad. But if you want us to actually eat the potato salad, put eggs in it. And again, even in parts of the South, even parts of the North, some people, no, don't put eggs in potato salad. Eggs doesn't put, or just a little bit. Nope. We want to actually taste it. Okay. I'm going to give my hands a wipe. Now, here's another part to potato salad. There's the part, I guess you would call it the sauce. People call it all different things, but it's the part that goes over it. So now I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. And go to eggs that was chopped, and again, roughly chopped. I'm going to come in with the celery. And again, this is perfect for the 4th of July, but you can have it any time of the year. You don't have to wait till the 4th. But we are going to have this on our picnic. Now we're going to come in. And did I tell you what we're making? We're making potato salad and ribs. You always have to have ribs at a cookout. I don't know why. But I decided to start with the potato salad. Relish. Yes. Yes. Sweet relish. And again, I know some people say that does not belong in potato salad. But yes, we love it. Must have that. And remember, I used the chicken bouillon. And so that is why I'm not using any salt. Also, I would put black pepper in this, but because I'm going to have some little ones who may not like black pepper, I'm not going to put black pepper in. But remember, you can put black pepper in it if you like it. Hellmann. Now, the only mayo that I use in potato salad is Hellmann. And I know there's different brands. You use what you like, but for us, it is Hellmann. I don't know, it just has this flavor, and honestly, it's what I grew up eating as a kid. Some people put mustard. That's another thing. Tell me where you're from if you put mustard in yours. You know, I heard it was a Virginia thing. I don't know if that's true. I also heard it was a Tennessee thing. Don't know if that's true either. So now we're going to just stir it. And you just want to keep mixing. And remember, you can put black pepper in this. Now, I would set this in the refrigerator. You can make this part right here the night before. You can actually make the whole potato salad the night before or the morning of. And let me tell you something about potato salad. It tastes better when you make it in advance. Absolutely, it tastes better. Because if the seasonings go through the potato, this gets to set and soften up, and it will. If you're thinking the onions will be too raw or too bitter, it won't. It begins to soften, and the flavor would, lessen if you don't like that bite of onion. And I understand that. Same thing with the celery. It won't be too crunchy because of the mayo and the relish. Okay. Star of the dish, the potatoes. Yeah, I even know some people add carrots to their potato salad. Never thought about that. Never thought about adding carrots to my potato salad. It just isn't something we do. Again, it all depends on where you're from. And you just want to make sure it's well coated. All of the potatoes have some of the dressing. That's what it's called, dressing. Some people call it dressing. Some people say the sauce that goes on the potatoes. And again, at this point, I would usually add black pepper, but I'm not because I have some little ones. Now, at this point, always give it a taste to see, do you need to add anything else? Let's see. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. I don't need to add anything. I'm going to get this in the refrigerator. Now, if I was going to serve this right now, perfect. Serve it as it is. But if you're not, get it in the refrigerator because remember, it has mel in it. Right back. Okay, so now moving right ahead to our ribs. And remember, I don't know why, but at all barbecues, there's always ribs. I don't know. You would think, just hamburgers is enough and hot dogs. No, we have to have ribs. So, and again, this is great for the holidays, 4th of July, but you don't have to wait till the 4th of July to make this dish. Not the potato salad or the ribs. Okay, so now I'm going to come in with some oil. Now, everyone have their own recipe on how to make ribs. So this is just mine. I'm expert on what I make. That's what I always like to say. And I'm just going to coat it in oil. And you probably say, what is she doing? Why is she doing that? I'm going to tell you why in a minute. Okay, when you coat any meat, but especially ribs, it helps the seasoning stick to it. Yeah, and as it cooks, it remains tender. Because I'm going to cook, like if you cook this in the oven or even on a grill, it will help it not just to keep the seasonings that you put on it, but it will also help it stay tender. Now, I don't remove a lot of the fat, as you can see. I leave the fat on because as it cooks, it's going to melt, but it's also going to baste the meat. What do I mean by that? It's going to help keep the meat, again, tender. And, sometimes you hate eating meat off the grill because it's hard. Well, that's the trick. You have to be able to keep some fat on it to keep it tasting good. Simple as that. Onion is doing double duty. And this is a real simple recipe for ribs. I don't like ingredients that you have to spend an arm and a leg for or send away for. Garlic. And I really think every barbecue recipe has a base seasoning. And I think most of them are onion and garlic. Real simple. And I'm coming in with this. Adobe. Yeah, I don't know if it's traditional, but I like to use it. And I use the one without pepper. Again, if just adults are eating it, or if you have little ones who, there's no problem with them eating pepper, then you can have the one with pepper. But since I have some little ones who have issues with that, I won't put that on. Applewood rub. And everyone have their own favorite rub. But this seems to be ours. The kids love it. We love it. It has a nice taste. And it's not spicy at all, but it has a good flavor to it. I will leave it at that. Okay, so now here's where your hands get dirty. Spreading it on. And you want to mix it up. You want this to go from side to side. Over. The last thing you want to do is eat a piece of meat and only one side is seasoned. I don't know whether that ever happened to you, but it's a great disappointment. So I'm just turning it. I'm just basting it in the seasonings that's in the pan. And yes, I'm using disposable because after, I just want to throw it in the trash. And that's it. Not a lot of cleaning up to do. And so that's what you want. You want every side to be well coated, and it is. I'm going to lift it up so you can see the seasonings on it. Okay. I'll give my hand a wipe. Now, here's a part that, I don't know. Some people may say you don't do. But yeah, like I said, we're strange in this house. Now, I'm just using this because it's on sale. You use the brand that you like. Now, some say you should do this after it cooks or halfway through. No, we tend to put just a little bit, not a lot. So we sauce our ribs when they raw. Yes, we do. Just enough. We sauce our ribs. And we let it seems as if, for us, the flavor of the barbecue sauce goes into the meat. You know how some seasonings, some sauces sits on top of the meat? But this, and you could really, it's like it's on top of the meat. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know if you do. But not through the meat. When you bite through the meat, you don't actually taste the sauce. Almost like hot sauce. where you put hot sauce on the part of the meat that you're eating, but it's not all the way through on the meat. Yeah. So that is why I put the barbecue sauce, just enough, while it's still raw. So as it cooks, it actually goes through the meat. Okay. And again, maybe no, everyone have their own rule now. Some people will base this in vinegar. Some will base it in mustard and vinegar. It's all up to you. And I realize it's regional. I'm realizing that more and more. The way people cook is somewhat regional. And what I mean by that is like where you're from. But I guess that's true of all things that we make, right? So if where you're from, you base in vinegar, okay, and some new apple cider vinegar. I'm just gonna cut up some onions and put it over. And again, the onions, as they cook, it actually gets sweet. So you don't have to worry about, oh, it's gonna taste bitter, or some people feel like onions are spicy. But as it cooks, and that's the trick with onions, if they're done, they're actually very sweet. And they do give off some liquid, which helps to keep it moist. Now, again, not a lot. Everything is simple. Please take a minute, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. It costs absolutely nothing. I am trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. It would really help if you share this video or just binge watch the channel and give all the videos a thumbs up. Share it on any of your social medias, please. It really will help the channel. Okay, and again, it costs absolutely nothing. Everyone talks about algorithm. We are that. We're the rhythm. We're the one that say what we like. We don't have to have a computer dictate what we watch. So please, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Okay, so I'm going to get this in the oven. And I am going to cover this very tight with some aluminum foil. And I'm going to put a little bit of water, maybe about 4 ounces of water so it can steam down. I am going to cook this at 350. Okay, let's get this in the oven. Okay, you guys, and there you have it, a delicious meal for the 4th of July or for any time of the year. Now, in all honesty, I thought I can cook it at 300 or 350 for like 30 minutes, but it took a little bit longer. And I did take the stove up to about 375 for 45 minutes. Now, if you don't want to take that long to cook it, what you can do is boil. Some people don't like to boil their ribs before they put it in the oven. Here's the catch with that. If you boil it, it will cook faster. Then when you put it in the oven, you can put it in for less time. Now, if you want to cook low and slow, what does that mean? Okay, so you cook it at 200 degrees in our oven, but you may cook it for an hour or 50 minutes. But anyway, I'm going to lift this up so you can see how delicious that is. There go the potato salad and the ribs. Now, you can sauce your ribs more than that if you want. I just didn't put any more sauce on. I might and I might not because it's delicious just as it is. Again, please take a minute, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It really helps the channel. Leave a comment and let me know what you're going to do for the 4th of July. And how do you make your potato salad and your ribs? Do you put mustard in your potato salad and less eggs? Do you sauce your ribs as they cook or after? Please let me know. Leave a comment and let me know where you're commenting from. Like, where are you from? Because I like to know different people take like regional cooking on certain dishes. And I think some dishes are regional. Depending on where you're from, you put mustard. Or you do your ribs in, which I heard in Tennessee, that they do it with a mustard and vinegar base. If anyone from Tennessee or in that area, let me know if that's true. Until next time, enjoy.